Hello, everyone, and I want to thank you for joining me on another episode of Talk to TK, where today's topic will be on self care. And this is a topic that is really, really important, especially during this time with the pandemic going on and a lot of uncertainty happening just all across the world and especially in the US. So, I definitely want to take some time to really focus on why self care is important. I know that on some past episodes of Talk to TK, I've discussed different coping techniques and strategies and activities that you can do that fall under the self care umbrella, but I may not have done as well of a job as I should have at explaining why these things are important. Understanding what to do is great, but understanding why you do it gives something that much more meaning, that much more emphasis, that much more importance in your life to actually go forth and do said activities. Um, and so engaging really just I just want to just dive right in pretty much engaging in any type of relaxing activity, whether that's meditation, positive affirmations, yoga, painting, drawing, writing. It doesn't matter, working out, whatever you do that helps relax you, de-stress you, it doesn't matter. It's an activity that allows you to mentally get away from the stresses and pressures of the world, and it all falls under the category of self-care. So some people, you may have been doing self-care activities and not even knowing that's what it was. And that's totally fine too. Keep doing those things, but then you can add to the list. You can add to your why. You can add more emphasis into and more importance into why you need that space for yourself. And everyone needs it. Doesn't matter how old, how young, it doesn't matter. Self-care is so important to your mental, emotional, physical health. And for reasons even more than that, but it's just so important. And so engaging in self-care activities and looking for those positive affirmations, getting your mind in a certain space, it literally can change your day. It can change your mood. It can change your energy, because energy isn't necessarily lost. It's just transferred from one thing to another. So if I'm in a bad mood and I'm standing next to someone who is in a great mood, they could transfer some of their energy to me, and I get into a better mood, or I could transfer some of my energy to them and put them in a worse mood. And and that's just kind of how energy works. And so us taking care of ourselves allows for our day, our atmosphere, our environment to remain at such a positive level that it makes it that much more challenging for those negative things to creep in and set in, for us to just get so caught up in other things that are happening in the world, and that's all we seem to focus on. So just to kind of give you a little insight into some things that happened in my past. I was going into my freshman year of college, and I came out of high school. I was one of the top recruited guards in my class, highly, highly recruited, tons of awards, accolades, on and on and on. And I was definitely a big fish. I was the big fish in the pond that I was in. And going to college, it doesn't always translate to that. You'll still be the big fish. So I became the small fish. And that was okay, but it was a different kind of adversity that I had to face because I'd never actually been the small fish. So I wasn't really sure how to react, and I didn't react the correct way. I didn't react in a positive manner. I didn't show up like I was supposed to, as far as mentally and being that mentally engaged as I needed to be. And my confidence just went just like this. It was like a freaking roller coaster. And one day I'd be as confident as ever, and you could tell in my play and my talk and how I walked, how I went to class, how I prepared. It was just boom. This is where I needed to play every day of my college career. And then the next day I'd be like the worst player on the entire team. Like, you might as well, like, how did you even get a scholarship? That's how bad I felt I was doing. And I was at the University of Nebraska Lincoln's, a Division I school in the Big 12 at the time. So we were in one of the top conferences in the country, and you needed to perform every day because you're going up against the Texas and Oklahomas of the world, and those are teams that You have to bring your A game every single day. So as I'm going through my freshman year, I'm struggling up and down, up and down. My mindset was everywhere. And I was letting everything impact me and get to me. And I was holding on to that negative energy so tight. And it literally continued for weeks and weeks and weeks. And my performance in the classroom suffered drastically. My performance on the court suffered drastically. And it was all because I was focusing on the wrong things. I wasn't taking care of myself mentally because I never had to before. I didn't know how to. I wasn't allowing myself to be in the moment, enjoy the process. I wasn't allowing myself to use my transition periods throughout the day, whether I was transitioning from class to practice or from practice to the weight room or from weight room to study hall. I wasn't using those transition times in my day to really focus on readjusting my mindset and reframing what I was thinking about so I could walk into my next activity, whatever that was, with the right mindset, with the right attitude. And eventually nothing was fun and everything was challenging. And that was hard for me because I'd never been in that situation. I also had never heard about self-care. I also had never heard about meditating. I also had never heard about all of these mental performance type things that awareness, focus, time management, organization, routines. I had never really focused on any of that stuff before because I never had the issue before. And so overall, I was lacking in a lot of self-care, and my freshman year really showed that. And so I want to ask you a question. How many of you out there are so focused on taking care of others or being this and that for others, and you forget to take care of yourself? Just raise your hand in the chat. Just go ahead. I know I've been there in the past. Now, I'm sure it'll happen again in the future. Just raise your hand. Let me know. Just put a little hand raised in the chat. No ego amigos here. You don't have to be ashamed of it because everyone goes through it, whether they want to admit it or not. Everyone has gone through something like that once, twice, 3, 4 times in their lives. And what I've learned from that experience is if I can't take care of myself, I can't help anyone around me. It's really hard to give when there's nothing in the tank. It's just like your car. It's really hard for you to go driving down the highway if you have no gas in the tank. And that's what it feels like when you don't allow yourself the moments of self-care, when you don't allow yourself the moments to relax, to de-stress, to decompress from the day, to enjoy hobbies and activities and work out and whatever it is you're doing. All of that stress just keeps bottling up, and you're just holding on to it. And it doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do people around you any good. It hurts relationships. It hurts friendships. It hurts work. It hurts your performance. It just hurts everything. So understanding all of these things that are impacted by you not taking care of yourself is a big reason why self-care is so important. And whatever you do, whatever anyone does to, as far as activities that fall into self-care, the options are limitless. Whatever it is that helps you relax and decompress, that's what you need to be doing to take care of yourself. Manicure, bike ride, pedicure, reading a book, taking a hot bath, hiking, taking your dog for a walk, like these, drawing, painting, writing. Like I'm just saying, like this is endless stuff that you can be doing. And so self-care is really the practice of taking an active role, active being the key word. Self-care is the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, especially in periods of stress. But before you even get to that high level of stress, before your shoulders are all tense and your back is all tight, before it even gets to that level, you should be doing things and taking an active role in protecting your well-being and your happiness. And as a society, we need to do this better. And let's just not sugarcoat it, okay? Let's just be real right now. This is very real right now. There are days that are more challenging than others. whether you're quarantined or not, whether you go to work every day or you work from home, whether you have kids or you don't. In life in general, everyone has days that are just more challenging than others. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Where we get into trouble is when we hold on to that one bad day or that one bad hour or that one bad 2 hours, whatever it is. When we hold on to that for 7 days, that's when we get in trouble. That means that we're not being present. That means that as time has gone on, we're still trying to live in the past. And that impacts our present and future because we're carrying that with us for no reason. Think about carrying a brick, right? You carry one brick and everything is fine. Like, it's not heavy, it's not holding you back, it's not a burden, none of that stuff. But if you carry that brick for the next 7 days, it's going to weigh on you. It's going to get heavy. It's going to be like, oh, I just want to put this brick down. Well, here's the great news. You can. You can choose when to put that brick down. You can hold on to it for a week, for a month, for a year, or you can hold on to it for 1 minute and put it down and continue the rest of your day happy, upbeat, joyful, energetic, ready to help, ready to move, ready to have fun, smiling, laughing. You can choose to do that every moment of every day if you want to. And I know there are some very, some circumstances that are just, it's harder to get to that point, but you still have a choice on whether you hold on to it for longer than you need to. And this is not sweeping anything under the rug. This is allowing yourself to not allow it to hold you back until you get into a space where you can properly digest what happened. Because when you're at work, going from one thing to another, one task to another, that is not the time to process your breakup in a relationship. That's just not the time to do it. So why hold on to that while you're working in a high-paced environment? Let that go for now. Be in the moment. Focus on what you need to focus on and keep going. And that's a part of self-care. It's not easy, but it is a part of self-care. Remember back to the energy analogy, you transfer energy. You never lose it. You just transfer it, right? And so, again, self-care is just important because it teaches you how to quiet your mind. It teaches you how to relax. It teaches you how to become present. And a major result of learning how to quiet your mind and relax and be present is you have less stress and you have greater focus. And those are two things that we really need right now. I mean, really right now we need those things, but just in general in life, the less stress you have, the greater your focus, the more fun life will be, the more enjoyable life will be. So really focus on activities and times throughout your day where you can just step away and quiet your mind. Bring yourself back to the present moment, whether it's a breathing exercise, whether it's listening to a meditation on your phone, whether it's watching a funny clip, whatever it is, even if it's just going outside to just inhale some fresh air for a few minutes, whatever it is, find ways to use those transition periods in your day to relax and quiet your mind. And your mental images and your thoughts, whether it's positive or negative, you carry around with you, have a direct impact on your physical, emotional, and mental state. And that's what I was leading up to with explaining all of this stuff is you are impacting so many parts of your body by holding on to negative things. Conversely, you are also impacting so many parts of your body when you hold on to positive things. So what would you rather hold on to, the positive or the negative? I personally would rather hold on to the positive. Those are the things that give me joy. They make me smile. They make me laugh. They make me have fun. They make me, get loose, get loose. Like you about to dance or something. I don't know. I'm not a dancer personally, but if I was, I would want to hold on to those positive things, get your song going in your head, whatever it is, and, dance a little bit, have fun, be loose. So it's just one of those things where you have to be conscious and cognizant of what you're holding on to and what you're choosing to hold on to. And self-care is not selfish. I've heard people say that. I've seen it. It's not selfish. You have to take care of yourself. So don't feel guilty. Don't allow anyone else to make you feel guilty for taking time for yourself. Whatever time you need, that's what you take for yourself. No one can tell you when to be over something, when to be done with it, when to move on. No one can tell you that. Only you know when that time is. And so sometimes just the easiest way to de-stress is to just turn off the outside world. Don't log on to social media, turn off your phone, put it on do not disturb, and find ways to have less screen time so you can interact and partake in activities at home with people in your house, whether it's a game night or whether you guys have a dinner together and you just talk about your day, or you talk about something fun and interesting, or you read, or working out, stretching, yoga. Possibilities are endless. Maybe you go lay out in the park and you look up at the clouds and you try to find the different designs and shapes in the clouds. Whatever it is that allows you to just be in the moment and enjoy the moment, do that. But for me, turning off the outside world is the best stress reliever that I possibly could have, because I don't have to worry about any type of incoming stimulus of messages or funny videos or any negativity coming into my space, because I can control that. And it's another way for me to just block everything and everyone out. And you have to remember that what you consume on a daily basis, whether you consciously consume it, like when you purposely choose a radio station, or when you purposely choose a movie or TV show to watch, or you subconsciously move it, and that's like some background noise that you have going on, whether you're consciously or subconsciously consuming whatever that is, it will impact you for better or for worse. But you get to choose that. You get to choose what you allow to come into your mind, what you allow to come into your subconscious and seep into your subconscious. And that easily can sway and impact your mood, your energy, your thoughts, your actions, your words. So be very cognizant of that, because that is another form of self-care, right? Another thing that I've mentioned earlier is utilizing the transition periods through my day. And this is just so helpful, because what happens is it allows me to mentally and physically leave behind me what I just was working on and put before me what I want to work on, what I'm about to work on. So for example, my workout room and where I work are in two separate rooms. And so when I'm getting ready to go for a workout, I typically will go walk my dog. And then before I come into the workout room, I'll even decompress from the walk, because that was me and Oakley's time together. And then I'll decompress from that and get into a mental space that's preparing me for my workout. And so I have these transition periods from work to walking my dog, from walking my dog to working out, from working out to whatever my night routine will be. And using those transition periods, even if it's just 2 or 3 minutes, it can be 15 minutes, whatever you need, to just, okay, close your eyes, breathe. Work is done. I've done everything that I could do to make today as successful as possible at work. I can't go back and change anything. I can't go back and undo anything. I'm satisfied with what effort I put towards my job today. Now is the time for me to spend with Oakley. I allow Oakley to choose the path that we're going to walk. I make sure that she is enjoying her walk. I make sure that I am present with her in her walk, allow her to wander a little bit, allow her to enjoy the fresh air and enjoy the warmth of the sun, enjoy the cool breeze, be in the moment with her, see what she sees. If she sees a squirrel, look for the squirrel with her. If she wants to bark at another dog and get to know that other dog, be in the moment with her. and then I take a couple more deep breaths, and then I walk out my door and I go and I walk my dog. And just even in that few moments, that was just an example of me. My eyes were closed. I don't know if you could see my eyes, but my eyes were closed. And I was just talking to myself and going through the release of my workday and the present moment of where I want to be. And I could feel the weight just melt off of my shoulders. That is a form of self-care. And sometimes we need things like that. It may be uncomfortable at first, but that's okay. It will help you in the long run, I promise. I've been really working on doing that these past couple of weeks, just really trying to utilize that because I'm just going stir crazy sitting in the house because I really haven't done much of anything. The farthest that I go is in my car and just drive around the neighborhood or something like that. Like I haven't gone anywhere. So for me, those few moments of transition and really putting everything in its box and keeping it in its box for the next time period has helped me so much, not, just scream at the top of my lungs, but utilize your transition periods. That is a great way of having consistent self-care throughout the day and do wonders for you in your mood, in your thoughts, and your actions. So here's some transition periods throughout the day that you could use. I'm going from your morning to going into work, when you take a break at work, going to lunch and coming back from lunch, when you get ready to leave, to go back home, when you get into your driveway, your parking spot, your garage, wherever you park and you're about to walk in your house, allow yourself to decompress even from that car ride and leave all of that in the garage, in the car, wherever, so you can be present with your family. So just other ways of engaging in self-care acts, right? And there's no rule that says you have to carry something around with you from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If it happens at 8 a.m., hey, let it go. You don't have to carry that with you all day. It's just like the brick analogy. You do not have to carry that with you all the day. Each moment is its own moment, and you can choose to make the most of it. Or you can choose to remain captive by it. It's your choice. It's always your choice. Live each moment as its own separate moment, and either you will make the most of it or you will remain captive by it. So just make a decision. I choose to live up each moment. I choose to be in the moment and enjoy it for what it is. And it's not always easy, but it's vital. It's necessary. And remember, self-care says to protect your own well-being and happiness and peace. You have to protect it because no one else will. No one else is going to care about your self-care as much as you will care about your self-care. So take that time. You will appreciate it. Everyone around you will appreciate it. I'm going to leave you with this question. How can you be your best self for your kids, your partner, your family, your friends, your coworkers, or anyone? How can you be your best self if you are not taking care of yourself? How can you be your best self if you are not taking care of yourself? So before I sign off, what I want to do is read to you a few positive affirmations that I came across that can really help you when you're in a tough spot. You can use these in your transition periods as your reminder. Breathe, say your positive affirmation, breathe again, and then step forward into a new energy, into a new atmosphere, a new mindset. I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its contents. Today, I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. My body is healthy. My mind is brilliant. My soul is tranquil. My ability to conquer my challenges is limitless. My potential to succeed is infinite. And the last positive affirmation that I want to leave you with is many people look up to me and recognize my worth. I am admired. So those are just a few positive affirmations that I came across that I thought would be really helpful for you to take with you as a good starting point, or to add to whatever it is that you're doing in your self-care acts throughout the day, whether you do it in the morning when you wake up, before you go to bed at night, whatever it is. And so I really hope that this was helpful as to understanding why self-care is so important and why we need to engage in self-care way more often than we actually do. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. My social media is at Mindset 180 Academy. On Twitter, it's Mindset_180. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Leave them in the chat. I love talking about this stuff. I love giving advice and helping others come up with ideas that can be impactful for them. If you have any topic requests, it's things that you want me to talk about on the next episode or future episodes of Talk to TK, drop those in the chat as well, and I will make sure to comment on those and then come up with a session around that particular topic. So again, I thank you so much for tuning in, and I really hope that everyone has a great night.